Alrighty, here we go. Learning goal today. I can approximate the values on a number line such as pi and negative square root of 50 and place them on a number line. I can explain the difference between whole numbers, integers, rational numbers, irrational numbers, and real numbers using a graphic organizer. We're going to specifically hone in on this rational versus irrational numbers today. Okay? So we've got some notes. Let's get that done. Rational versus irrational numbers. Label the following numbers as R rational or IR irrational. I'm going to write us a little cheat, and I would like you to write yourself a little bullet point here. Let's just talk about irrational because obviously if it's irrational, then if it's not irrational, it'll be rational. So some hints. It has to be non-repeating decimal. Okay? Also what can make it irrational? Non-terminating decimal. The word terminator. Okay? Think about Arnold. What does he do? He terminates. What does he do? He ends, okay? He ends life, right? So, non-terminating means it doesn't end. It goes on and on and on and on. And we're going to talk specifically about the calculator and how you can identify that. The last thing, an irrational number cannot be changed into a fraction. Okay, so those are your hints as to whether something is rational or irrational. So let's begin. It says pi here is approximately. Okay, all we're trying to determine is whether it's rational or irrational. Okay, let's clear our calculators. Second plus 7, 1, 2. When we get RAM cleared, we're going to hit the clear button. Okay? So to put in pi in our calculator, we're going to hit second key because pi is right here on top of the power up key in blue. Okay? So we're going to press the power up key. Because we pressed the second key, we get pi. And all we have to do is press enter. Okay? So if we press enter, let's look at this number. This is going to be your hint. If in 8th grade math, I have never seen a number go more than 4 or 5 out and be rational, okay, a decimal. Remember, this calculator will only hold 10 digits after the decimal point. So if you have a number that is going past the 4th or 5th, okay, right here, and it is non-repeating, meaning it's not a 0.33333 or a 0.125, okay? That means it is irrational. Here's another clue. Anything with pi, when you're doing an operation with pi, will be irrational. Okay, so there is a clue. I'm going to put an IR here. All right? Let's look at this number. It's already a decimal. What do you think it is? Rational or irrational? Well, it's rational, and the reason is because the decimal terminates. In other words, it ends 361. Okay? It doesn't keep going and keep going and keep going. It doesn't have a line over anything. It doesn't have, so therefore it terminates. So it said non-terminating is irrational. Okay? What about the number 2? This gets students, they think whole numbers. But think about it. Whole numbers, when we did our sets, where did we put whole numbers? Whole numbers were inside the set of what kind of numbers? Because can you make 2 a fraction? Well, every whole number, the decimal point is out here, right? every whole number you can put over 1. Any whole number and make it a fraction. So it is, of course, rational. Okay? I also wanted to show you, if I wrote down 22 here, I could take 0.361, hit math, enter, enter. It's a fraction. It turns it into a fraction. It won't do that if it is irrational. Okay? All right, -4 times pi. What did I say about pi? Any operation, any calculation, anything to do with pi is going to be irritable and irrational. All right, so here we go, irrational. 33 squared. Let's put it in our calculator. Do you know how to do that? Let's see you do it. Don't just write what I'm doing. 33, and hit the x squared button. Hit enter. 1089. What kind of number is that? I hope you said a whole number or an integer, and those are all part of the set of rational numbers. Okay? Oh, 36 divided by pi. Let's just put it in, even though we already know it's got pi, it's irrational. 36, this sign is divide by, then I have to do pi, so I have to do second and pi. Now, hit enter. Look at this number. It looks like it ends, right? But if I hit math, enter, enter, oh, it doesn't change it to a fraction. Oh, it won't change it to a fraction. Therefore, it has to be, hope you wrote IR for irrational. Okay? Square root of 25. We're getting some help at reminding us how to put these in. Do you see x squared? On top of it is the square root symbol, and we've looked at it before, but not very much, okay? So let's look at it again. To undo a square, you use the square root. That's why, look it. To undo multiplication, you do division. To undo addition, you do subtraction. To undo squaring something, you take the square root. So we want second square root 25, so push 2 and 5. Now, do you see how your arrow is under the square root symbol? You have to, and it has an arrow and it's pointing to the right. You have to use this arrow out key and get out from underneath the square root symbol, then hit enter, and we get what? The whole number 5. Well, guess what? The whole number 5 is, yes, you can turn it into a fraction. Now, this calculator, if I hit math, enter, enter, it's not going to show me a fraction because the simplified form of 5 over 1 is 5, okay? You just have to know all whole numbers are rational, okay? So here we go, rational, all right? Square root of 3, let's look at that one, okay? So, second x squared, because the square root symbol is on top of that, okay? Then I'm going to put in 3. Remember, you have to arrow out, so I'm going to push the arrow to the right, and then I'm going to hit enter. Ooh, look at that number. I wonder if it will turn it into a fraction. It doesn't repeat, and it goes out further than 4 or 5, so I'm guessing it's irrational. Let's see, if I hit math, enter, enter, it didn't turn it into a fraction. It kept it the same. Therefore, it is irrational. Oh, look at this, something new we haven't done to the power of 3, okay? So let's figure out how we're going to do this. And some of you are going to giggle, but that's okay. So we're going to put in the negative sign. We know the negative sign is down here, -4. Now, we need to the power of 3, not 2. So this key is known as the power up button. I call it the Chinese hat because it kind of looks like a hat that they wear when they work in the rice field. Okay, so the power up key, all right, then we're going to put a 3 in that box. And do you see how it's saying arrow out? Every time it says arrow out, we got to arrow out, okay? Then we can hit enter. -64. What kind of number is that? I hope you said integer. I hope you said whole number, but it is an integer. It's really not a whole number. It's an integer because it's a negative, okay? And so the first place you would see it in the number system is integers. So yes, you can put negative 64 over 1, so therefore it is rational, okay? What does that have? Oh my Lord. It has pi, so what kind of number does that have to be? I should just recognize. Rational or irrational? I hope you said irrational, okay? But we're going to put it in just for the fun of it. You're going to hit the second key. You're going to hit pi. You need to square it, so I'm going to press x squared, okay? Then I need a divide by sign because that's what that says. And then I'm going to use 9. And then I'm going to hit enter. Oh, it doesn't repeat, does it? The 6 repeats the 2, but not the whole thing over and over and over. So we're going to say math, enter, enter. It doesn't change it to a fraction. Okay? All right. Negative. Oh, look at that. That says it's what? What is 8, 9, and 1 doing? What does that line mean? Yes, it means that it's repeating. So negative 2.891, 891, 891. Remember I said go about 3/4 of the way over, right? And if I hit math, enter, enter, it changes it to an improper fraction, okay? Doesn't matter. It's still a fraction. That means it is what? An irrational number up here, we said, cannot be changed into a fraction. So if it's not irrational, it has to be rational, okay? Square root of 67. I hope you remember how to do this one. You should be able to push second, the x squared key, because the square root symbol is right there. Hit 67, arrow out, and hit enter. Ooh, does that number repeat? Does that number terminate? No. Last check. Math, enter, enter. Does it change it to a fraction? No. Therefore, it is irrational. All right. Use the number line below to answer the following questions. So we have 2 pi and we have pi squared. So the first thing we need to know, because it says which of the following could be found between the two numbers on the number line. So we need to figure out what those are equal to before we do anything. So I'm going to put in 2 in my calculator times pi, which is second and the power up key, and hit enter. And I'm going to write, I'm just going to go out 2 digits, 6.28, okay? Then I'm going to come over here where it says pi squared, and I'm going to hit second pi, hit the x squared button, and hit enter. And I get 9.86, okay? So I need a number, could be found. I need a number that is between these two, between 6 and 9, okay, for sure. All right, so let's look. The first one, we've got second pi divided by 4, hit enter. Ooh, is that even a whole number yet? No. 0.78 is not even a whole number. It can't be between 6 and 9. So let's do this one. 16 divided by second and pi. 5.09. Now, is that between 6 and 9? What is the whole number there? 5. Is 5 between 6 and 9? No, sir, no, ma'am. So, pass that one out. Square root, second, square root symbol, 56. Arrow to the right means arrow out. Okay, so push that arrow out key over here and hit enter. I get 7.48. Ooh, that looks like a pretty good candidate, doesn't it? Because 7 is between 6 and 9. As far as I'm concerned, you've got your answer. You know, for those of you who want to make sure, second, square root, 26, arrow out, and you get 5.09, which would be over here. So C's my answer. Now let's look at this question. Which of the following could not? And when you see a not question, I want you to write the word not, because I get so many students who make the mistake and forget I'm looking for a not question. Which of the following could not be found between the two numbers on the number line? Okay? So this is just like your practice. So this is your example. Let's do A. Could not be. All right? 2, and we're going to put it in just like it looks, okay? Second square root 14. Remember, I got the arrow out key, so arrow out, enter. 7.48. Well, 7 is between 6 and 9, and I need a not, so that doesn't work. 6 second pi divided by 2. You're going to need to know how to put all these things in your calculator, and that's why we have them here. And hit enter. 9.42. Now, we have 6 and 9, so it is a 9. It's 8, 9.8. Well, 9.4 is somewhere like right in here, so we can't, that one would fit. We're looking for a not. This is already done for us, 9.8. Oh, well, 9.8 would still be right in here somewhere, okay? So that one can't be it. Square root of 26, well, we just did this in our calculator, but we'll do it one more time. Second square root 26. You got the arrow out key. Hit enter. 5.09. So would a 5 number fit between 6 and 9? No, so there is our answer. Okay? All right, that's about all I have. I'm sorry I've gone on and on today. You need to get up. You need to get the practice worksheet. If you need help, please use your notes. Please use your handout. Please use anything. You've got one side that you color. I don't care if you use green and yellow. I just want you to choose a color, highlight the word rational, highlight the word irrational. You're going to choose a color, but this is the first side you need to do first. Okay, we're determining this today, and the color is red.